Hello everyone, my name is Easton Jones and I will be talking to you today about convergent plate boundaries. Just to kind of give you a quick overview of everything, there are three subcategories for convergent plate boundaries. We have oceanic to continental, and continental to continental. And I will be giving you a quick synopsis of all three. Starting with the first one, ocean to continental right here. Just as you can see, you have two different plates. You have your oceanic plate and your continental plate. Now, as you can see with the lithosphere right here, this is subduction. The oceanic plate itself is more dense. The oceanic plate is more dense than the continental. Now, when the two collide, the more dense material is forced down below because of subduction, causing lots of earthquakes. So right along this line, you'll get lots of earthquakes. Also, you will get all this material right here melting as it falls into the asthenosphere, causing more melt on the continental plate, which will cause volcanoes. So your types of stress right there is going to be compressional stress. Your features are going to be mountain ranges, volcanoes, and earthquakes. And they're all going to kind of vary in size, just kind of depending on location and what you're going to have. My example is going to be South America. Now you have the Nazca plate and the South American plate. This forms the Andes Mountains range, which runs along 7 different countries. If you are not familiar, maybe Machu Picchu might stick out to you specifically. Now, with that being said, once again, we're going to talk about mountain ranges that you're going to get, earthquakes, and volcanoes. There are tons of different live and active volcanoes, and there are constantly earthquakes. As you can see from any seismograph chart, there's always earthquakes happening here in South America, and they happen often, and they always vary in size. It all just comes down to speed of the plates and the actual subduction itself. Moving on to the oceanic to oceanic plates. Oceanic convergence is going to be very similar to the last one we were just talking about, the continental to oceanic convergence. The denser plate will still be forced down, and the younger formation is more buoyant. So the younger formation is more buoyant, which is where you're going to get your mountain range, your actual island chain itself, this island arc right here, as you can see. You'll still get your subduction trench, you'll still have earthquakes, mountain ridges, and volcanoes. Once again, very similar in the aspect of you're going to get a lot of the same compressional stress, the same features, same earthquakes, same thing with volcanoes. All going to be kind of vary in size, shape, and form. It all just comes down to where it is geographically. The example I use is the Aleutian Islands. For those of you who don't know what the Aleutian Islands are, they are a chain of islands off of Alaska. Generally speaking, it's going to have that arc form right here, which is usually what makes it stand out and it makes it prevalent. Next, we have continent to continent convergence. My example is the Himalayan mountain range. You have the two different plates right there, Indian plate as well as the Eurasian plate. Now, this is kind of where things get interesting. There's not a whole lot of subduction here. What you have is two very dense plates colliding together, which causes a lot of folding, building up lots of pressure, and forming mountain ranges. Now, with that being said, I just kind of want to paint a picture in your head. This is kind of going to be what you're going to be looking at for the most part. You're going to have those very large mountain ranges, goes all across South Asia, right into the Middle East, speaking. Just to kind of go back over everything, I want to make sure that you understand that with convergent plate boundaries, you have 3 different types, or subcategories, I should say. The oceanic plate to continental plate, the oceanic to oceanic, and then the continental to continental. That is kind of the main overview for the most part. You're still going to have different types of stress on each one. Similar features for the most part. Same thing, you're going to get volcanoes, earthquakes, big mountain ranges. Subduction is a primary cause for the first two, and this one is going to be collision between the other one. You're going to get a little bit of subduction in the last one of continental to continental, but just not a whole lot. That's going to cause the folding, making the really high mountain ranges. I hope that was helpful, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask.